Welcome back to Basic Bananas Radio, where we share tried and tested ways to grow your brand and get more customers. Everything from the latest in marketing and branding, right through to growing your team and creating an irresistible culture.
Hi, and welcome back to Basic Bananas Radio. Today, I am connecting with Nicole Donnelly, who is such an incredible human and also has so much knowledge when it comes to AI, and especially when it comes to AI in marketing. So in this episode, we're doing a deep dive into some of the systems and some of the tools that you can use to create a marketing strategy and then execute it in your business. Let's jump straight in. Hi, and welcome to the show, Nicole. I'm so happy to have you here today.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
You are such an accomplished entrepreneur and you have so much knowledge to share on so many different areas when it comes to running a business and also in marketing and branding. And we just spoke for about half an hour about different things, and you just have so much wisdom. And also one of the things, and that's why I'm excited to have you here and sharing you with our audience. One of the things you also shared with me is that you're on a mission to bring joy to 1 billion people in your lifetime.
Yes.
Well, you've already brought joy to my life, and I think you're going to bring so much joy to our listeners. Why this beautiful big goal of yours? Let's start there.
I mean, I started it a long time ago of bringing joy to 1 billion people. In my first company, we had lake warmers for babies, and we were on a mission to make parents' lives easier every day. And that's what we did. And we did that for millions of people around the world. And then I wrote an emotional intelligence book. And at first I wrote one for kids that my child could use because they wanted it for their friends. And I just I have these different vehicles that I want to bring joy. And I feel like joy is something that I'm always fighting to protect in my life, or I feel is very precious, is this playfulness and joy and not being super serious. So while you can be technical and do things, but I still think there's so much joy to be had in life. Like, we only have one trip around here. I don't want to do it being miserable all the time. And I want to be able to bring a little bit of light to people. And right now, if that's through AI and saving them time, so you've got more headspace to do fun, creative things, more time in your day, more time in your week, and it frees you up, then that's the vehicle right now to bring people joy.
I love that. And I love joy. I've actually got a little note on my big screen here, which I'm showing you for anyone who is watching the video version here. It says joy on it with a smiley face, because I think also that joy is such an enabler of all the good things in life and in business. You are the founder of AI Smart Insiders and AI Smart Ventures. We'll share the link in the show notes. You've been in AI since 2009. You've been talking about AI in marketing. So you're not just jumped onto this bandwagon in the last 6 months like a lot of people. You've been doing this for a very long time, before it was even fashionable.
Yeah.
Where should we start this conversation for our audience?
Well, so I've been giving workshops on AI since 2015 in front of audiences, showing people how to do cool things in marketing with AI. And, the way things land now is a little bit different than it did back then. And just since last year, I would say we have 10 times our productivity. And I can share with you some of the things we do to save time in our agency from an operational perspective, and just really tactical things, that the tools that exist now and how robust and cool and good they are compared to even a year ago it's amazing. And being someone who does not code, I'm not technical, I can figure things out. So I think anybody can figure it out. And that's one of the things with our classes is we get this in our testimonials, is it doesn't make you feel stupid. And I'd like to share with you what we do from the process with our clients that anybody can do. You don't have to know programming. You just have to know what tools to use. So when we onboard a client, we can even sending them a proposal we do in a system. And it's a combination of automation and AI. So in creating proposals, we'll use AI to tune it up to whatever specific thing that they want. And we used AI to create the current proposals that we have out there. And if we need to include any other language, AI can easily do that. And it's all built into one operating system that we use to send invoices to, well, proposal, then people sign, it stores the documents, it then sends them the invoice, and then they get automated communication depending on the type of engagement that we have, or if you're signing up for the AI courses or any of that, you'll get different automations. So in the back end of this system, there's all these communication automations, and a lot of the communications were written with AI, and we can use things like Jasper to help us write broad do broad campaigns and write all of the emails in a campaign that we would need, and we can put them all into this operating system. And so
great.
If you're my client and you come to me and say, hey, I need a marketing strategy, and then, do your marketing stuff for you, because I've had a marketing agency for 14 years too.
Yeah. So
we would use the tool to have our communications, to schedule a meeting, to do the proposal, to do the invoicing, and to send you the think sheet, which we call it, where we ask you a lot of questions before our intake interview. And then we use the system to schedule our marketing workshop. So we do a 2-hour workshop with you, and we use Read AI to take the notes on this workshop. And then we also have your document. We'll make some notes to that as well. We take the read notes. We take the document that we've collaborated on, where you tell us everything about your business, your customer, yourself, your wishes, dreams, desires for your business. And we feed that into Jasper, and we have a template of what a good proposal or what a good marketing strategy looks like. And Jasper takes this information and spits out a marketing strategy for you. And we review it and make adjustments because it's not perfect. So the AI might get us 80% of the way there. We still need to spend that 20% making sure everything is accurate for you and your messaging. So we'll still spend some hours in there. And then we take it over to Gamma, and Gamma does decks that are beautiful. We put everything over into Gamma, we make a beautiful presentation, and then we serve it up to you. And then we also have a 12-month implementation calendar and a spreadsheet. And we actually use this implementation calendar, like we use AI with the implementation calendar to adjust all the tactics that are included for the year, and the ones that we think are priority for you. That's kind of a manual process right now. Is I'll go in, or somebody on the team goes in and prioritizes the items that we think you would start with based on your priorities and based on your budget. And we create a custom 12-month plan for you. So AI will help with building these things from an operational standpoint that get us to get something to the client. And then when it comes to producing content, of course, we use AI. So we have your hopes and dreams in this document, and we keep it in the Jasper knowledge base. We create a voice for you, so we know how you should sound when we're producing content, and we have all your keywords picked out. We use these tools that integrate with Jasper for SEO. And so we've got your keywords, and we can, in this whole plan, it tells you what the blog post titles are for a year. And we'll give you a couple a month, depending on your business. It could be 1 to 4 a month. And then AI helps us to write all of those. And then for every blog post, we're also doing SMS messages, emails, depending on the company and the budget, depends on the volume of content you produce. And then in this same OS, the operating system. We can push it out. We can push out this content if our client is in there. We can push this content to your blog from the system. We can push it to SMS, to email. We can push it to a WhatsApp channel or any social channels, like all within this system that has all these AI tools built into it. And so now it takes so much less time. Like our time is spent reviewing to make sure that all the AI outputs are good. But if it gets 80 to 90% of the way there, then we're doing 80 to 90% less work, and we need to do the reviews. But the tools are so good now that we can use AI with these guidelines, with voice, and with all of the inputs that we gather in a meeting to produce some really great content.
Such a great way to break it down and explain how your process works. And also, I'd like to break it down a little bit more for our audience and go through some of the parts that obviously a business owner can do for themselves. So they can basically take what you've just shared and apply it in their business. And then, of course, if, it's always good to get someone like you to come and help and implement even more. Let's just imagine we have someone who has not used too much AI. Maybe they've played a little bit with ChatGPT, with maybe Jasper.
Yeah.
Where should they start? I would assume we start with the operating system. So picking a system. What would you recommend there?
I would say even we meet some people who have all their customers in a spreadsheet. Let's say you're at that point. You're all your customers in a spreadsheet. You don't have a CRM system, and you want to send them all some text messages, and you're going to do it by hand. This is a real case from somebody I talked to this last weekend. And so I said, okay, well, let's define your voice first. You need to know what you sound like in order to get AI to sound like you. And so we could take a transcript from a meeting like this, or if you've written a lot of blog posts or emails, I can take all of that and give it to ChatGPT and say, define this voice for me. It will define the tone, and it could give you, this is casual, authoritative, academic, like depending on how you speak. And then you might say, never use the word thrilled. And that's such an AI word. Never use the word unlock, also a common AI word. And then you have a description of your voice. You can put this description into ChatGPT, so then your output starts sounding more like you. And then let's say you want to text your customers, and you're very manual at this point. You have your phone and you're texting them. You could ask ChatGPT to write 10 texts promoting whatever the program is that you want to promote or campaign. And it can give you texts, and it'll spit out emojis too, so that it feels very friendly. And if you're not an emoji person, just tell it to use no emojis or take them out, and it can do that. But you can have a conversation with ChatGPT, and you're going to be one step ahead in getting outputs that sound like you if you define your voice. That's a very first place for everyone to start is, and don't skip that, or else it's just going to be ChatGPT's voice. And it won't have any of your warmth or your humor or your wit or any of that. And, sometimes you can ask it, add a touch of wit. If you say humor, it usually gets ridiculous. But knowing how to get the best voice out of it will save you time in editing. And you'll be able to have better outputs that way. So I'd say voice for everyone, whether you're starting with a spreadsheet or you have a robust CRM system, that's where I would start, is define your voice. Make sure that you have a good description, that every time you put it into AI, it sounds like you when the content comes out.
I'm so glad that you share that, because a lot of people that are using AI are maybe not doing that. And so a lot of people just sound the same, and there's so much noise. There's even more noise now than ever before, and it just really doesn't do the business any good. We actually go through a brand strategy in the Clever Bunch program that many of our listeners are a part of, and we define the voice, because that's something that you, as you say, you need to have that. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you're going to spend so much time editing, reviewing, etc. And then the next step, I would say, when it comes to an operating system, do you have some recommendations of what you would recommend for small businesses?
I do. It's on the resources page on AI Smart Insiders, and it's just called OS, Scale with OS, and OS stands for operating system. And it's down at the bottom of the page on the resources page. It's an operating system that's built on Go High Level. If you go to Go High Level, you can purchase directly from them. I do not ever recommend it for anybody because they have really bad customer service, and Go High Level was built for agencies. Agencies build these templates inside of Go High Level, which is CRM, pipeline. You can do project management inside of there, all your automations. And with OS, they put a chatbot in there. You can have multiple chatbots. You can have voice and text chatbots. So if you go to any of our social media channels, you can have a conversation with a chatbot. If you want to book something, you'll get a phone call from a chatbot that's going to ask you some questions and do some qualifying. And the AI voice now compared to last year, even the last 6 months, AI voice and video have grown leaps and bounds.
Yeah.
And the OS, you can get it for as little as $97 a month. We use a $500 a month package because we get AI voice and AI chatbots in all our channels. And for $500 a month, we can run all of our communications. We even have our learning, all of our classes are in there. And so all of our communications to our students run through there. Everybody gets text messages and emails before class, reminders to do their homework. Everything is built in to this system.
I'll add the link to the resource page too, because there are so many great things on that link. But for anyone who is just listening right now and wants to know the link, so if you go to aismartinsiders.com/resources, you can find a ton of resources there. One other quick question I have is, I've used Jasper. I'm using ChatGPT a lot more now. Do you prefer Jasper over ChatGPT?
I do prefer Jasper. And the reason I prefer Jasper is as you start to scale, and even if you have 2 people on your team, Jasper is really transparent and collaborative. So AI tools, I'd say last year would superpower an individual. And the ones that are coming ahead this year are powering teams. So Canva's even teamed up with Leonardo. So now Leonardo's embedded in Canva, and Canva's a team tool. So you can share files, you can collaborate on pieces. And inside of Jasper, when I'm creating something, I can invite everybody on my team to come in and take a look at what I'm making. So I just did our newsletter that goes out tomorrow. And I did it in Jasper, and I'm going to have somebody proof it. So even though I'm using AI, I will still have someone check the links and proofread everything because we want to make sure that it's good when it goes out. So, and I could just spit it straight out to a newsletter and have it go, but I like the collaborative environment. And as an agency owner inside of Jasper, I can keep all of the voices for all my clients. We've got an enterprise account, so we have unlimited voices, unlimited knowledge base. And we have some clients that have really technical specs for their products and in industries that we know nothing about, really. And so we can upload all their technical information, and we can produce SEO'd blog posts about really technical things that before AI, I mean, that we send these blog posts to their engineers to review. Yeah. And before AI, they were editing quite a bit, because it's just not our expertise, and you have to be an engineer to understand these things. Now the blog posts pass it, we're probably 95%, and they take it the rest of the way. Sometimes I'd say we're 99, close to 100. They've sent some stuff unedited that we've done. And this is with a team, and we don't have the technical expertise in maritime, it's a maritime industry company that makes things for work ships. It's very, very specific. And that's why I love Jasper is it's got a knowledge base and it can hold it multiple voices for our team, but also all our client information, and it organizes it. So it's collaborative, and we can grow an agency with this account. And if we were on ChatGPT, even if you're on the teams, you can't collaborate that way. And if somebody leaves your team, you lose their stuff and you don't have historical knowledge. But now if somebody leaves the team, we can put another person in, and everything, all our history is there, all the knowledge is there, and they just need to know how to use it all.
Yeah, and hopefully, ChatGPT will change that in the future. One last question, and then any final words that you would love to share. I know we could talk for hours because there's so much around this topic. You also mentioned that you give ChatGPT, you basically train you train Jasper in creating a marketing strategy. Do you want to elaborate a bit on that so that our listeners can do the same? Because they can literally give any of these tools, Jasper or ChatGPT, their information about their business and say, give me a good strategy. Did you train what you want them to give you, or did you just use a template?
I trained it on manual outputs that we have done before. So we've done marketing strategies for years. And so I put those in as here's an example of a marketing strategy that you want. And I will tell you like the cheap shortcut. If you're on ChatGPT or if you're on Claude, you can download a Chrome extension called AIPRM. That's on the resources page.
Yeah.
And if you look up 7-question marketing plan or 7-question marketing strategy, use the number 7. And you can look it up on AIPRM. And I put a marketing strategy in the back end of that one. So it will give it to you. It's the short version, though. It's not the 50-page version. This is the 4-page version. It will ask you 7 questions about your business. The more details that you put in there, the better output you can get. And I actually won their prompt contest last year, and I'm going to submit another one this year. But I won out of everybody, like a prompt engineering contest from AIPRM. And AIPRM has over 4,000 different prompts that humans like me put our time into, and we programmed information in the back end, and we gave it all the parameters of what the output for you needs to be. And so if you use this 7-question marketing plan, then you can get a little marketing plan out of it. Even if you're just on ChatGPT or Claude, the free versions, you just need an AIPRM account, and there's a Google Chrome plugin for that. And it will give you access to other people's prompts as well. And I want you to keep in mind that you need to use your discernment to know if the outputs are good or not, because some of these say that they're SEO'd, but they're not actually, but that's the title of the prompt. So you still need to know your keywords, and you still need to have that human discernment to know if this is good content or not. But if you look at the number 7, we have like type in the number 7, you'll see a bunch of prompts that we wrote, or I mean, there's like 4 that have the number 7 in it. The 7-question perfect pitch. There's a few others that are on there. 7-question brand story. So you get kind of story brand results from it. And that's a way where you could get access even if you don't have Jasper and you don't have all the expensive tools that we pay, like we pay $15,000 a year for that account. And there are shortcuts as you like graduate. But when you think about what you're spending on it, you just think about how much you would pay a human to do all of this and how scalable the technology is.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah.
I love AIPRM. I'll post a link in the show notes too. So glad that you mentioned that. Is there anything else that you would like to share? Any final words? Anything I didn't ask you?
Yeah, I would say just ask. We have a free community that you can come and join, a Facebook page that's with AI Smart, and ask questions. People will answer. I answer questions on Facebook and WhatsApp groups. all the time. I think that's how we met. But I just answer questions for people. And there's a lot of people out there willing to share knowledge and use your discernment to know what's good information and what is not. Don't just blindly trust. Don't blindly trust the people. Don't blindly trust the AI. Always verify that it's accurate. Because this is the wild, wild west. It is still new, still early, and AI makes mistakes. Humans make mistakes. AI changes, and the way that we interact with it needs to evolve too. So ask questions and use your discernment. Discernment is a very, very, very important.
I agree. Thank you so
That's it.
much. Thank you for all this amazing wisdom. Really appreciate you sharing. We might even do an exclusive masterclass for our community on this, because I feel like you could, really do some case studies and pulling businesses apart and putting them back together. I think something that you're very passionate about. So am I. It would be fun to go in like a doctor and do some surgery on some businesses. Thank you so much, Nicole. I really appreciate you. And I am very confident that you've just come even closer to your mission to bring so much joy to 1 billion people.
Yeah, you'll have to let me know the views so I can keep my counter going.
I will.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate the opportunity to share a little of this with your audience too.
My pleasure, Nicole. Thank you. And you, the listener, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm pretty sure your brains are smoking right now, and hopefully you got a big smile on your face. You might have to re-listen to this show again and again and again. Thank you for tuning in. And if you love the show, we would love a review. And also, you're welcome to share it with a friend or two. Thanks so much. Talk to you soon.
To get more from Basic Bananas and to learn new ways to grow your business with clever marketing, visit basicbananas.com.